So in the last couple of videos we looked at adding fillets or curved edges, and we also looked at adding chamfers, which was our straight cuts. This little video here is just going to kind of show you essentially what we did last week, where now we've learned a technique, we want to apply it to kind of a few different objects, so maybe above the horizon line, below it, on it, maybe on different corners and things. So I'm just going to kind of repeat the technique a few times. So I'll do a page maybe with fillets and a page with chamfers, just so that you can kind of get a wee bit of practice in. Okay, now the same as with all the other videos, if you need to pause or skip back or go back to a previous video, feel free, these will be up here for as long as you guys need them. So this time my horizon line's going somewhere along the middle of my page, doesn't really matter where, keeping it fairly light. Vanishing point 1, vanishing point 2, and I'm not actually even going to mark these up this time, okay? I'm just going to leave them as that. So let's do, as I said, we're going to do a wee page of fillets. So we'll do our first one, and I'll just pick a random edge to fillet once we're sorted. Now, although we're doing this on kind of just objects, blocks at the minute, the reason we're building this technique up and showing you these different skills on how to add these features is so that you can then start progressing and moving on to drawing real life objects once you kind of get confident, okay? So it's just applying those same techniques and kind of moving forward with it. So let's say I'm going to do a curve on what face? Let's go for this wee bottom corner here. So I'm going to add in my curved edge. Now what I'm going to do as well, just to make it a wee bit clearer, is I'm actually just going to darken up this face just now so you can see it a little bit easier. So we've got that first surface drawn. All I want to do now is find those 2 points where it hits the edge, and then we're going back to our vanishing point. Again, keeping those lines as light as we can, and then we've got that point where it hits at the back, so we've got there and there, and then it's just a case again of joining the dots. Oof, now I've really gone wonky there, but it doesn't really matter because I can keep practicing it. If you do find that it's just maybe a wee bit too messy, take a wee rubber and just go for it again. Okay, this isn't a perfect art, it will be something that takes a bit of practice. You might find that it looks a wee bit wonky as you start out, but the more practice you get, the better you will get at this. And then as I darken it up, we've now got that object drawn. So let's go for down over here, and I'll do a different corner this time. So as you can see, we're just using that same technique that we learned last week, and we're using the same technique every single time I do a drawing. Sketch in my crate. Okay, now this technique, again, I said my higher class are working on this at the minute. They are all using this exact same technique where they build up the basic building blocks and then they kind of remove bits and shape them as they need to. So this time I'm going to do my curve on this face. In fact, let's do a wee double bump, something like that. Okay, so it's not just one little bump I've done there, it's almost like a slide in a fun house or something. So I've taken that curve, the points where it hits are going to go back, and then that's the points there where I need to run it between, and I'm just going to again do this by eye. Okay, now it might be that you go a wee bit wonky, it doesn't quite look perfect. I'm not too worried about that just now, this is something that you'll get better at over time. Okay, even mine's not that great. So we've got the curve in there, and then it would just be a case now of darkening up all the rest of our lines. Now I generally, when I'm going over the straight lines, tend to just use my ruler, keep it tidy. You don't have to. Now you've got it and you've drawn it with a ruler, you could just go over it freehand. I just find it a wee bit easier to use the ruler. Keep it tidy. I've worked hard to do that at the beginning. And that's that. Now what you could actually start thinking about here as well is to try and help kind of put that emphasis on the curve. You could think about maybe getting dark, a wee bit lighter, getting a wee bit darker again, lighter again, and then adding in like a little gradient. Okay, now mine is super rough there, but something like that could be that you want to play about with, trying to get your sketches looking a wee bit more 3D and realistic. So that's our fillets or curves. Okay, now you can see that, as I say, it doesn't really matter what it is as long as we pick that point where it starts and finishes and try to repeat it. We'll do chamfers now, and in fact I'll just do it on the same page, save myself some paper. So building up my chamfer now. My page is starting to get messy. If you remember back to the videos in the first week, we're essentially just trying to ignore everything else on the page and just focus on that one object that we're drawing just now. So just not even thinking about anything else, I'm just looking at the lines I've just drawn. Okay, which again I know it's fiddly and it is quite tricky to get your head around, but the more you practice it the better you will get at it. Okay, so here's my wee cube. And I'm going to have a shot. The last time I did the angle on this face, I'm going to do it on the other face this time just to kind of show you how to do that. So I'm going to come back, let's go to that point, and I'm going to come only to about here, so I'm going to do a different slope. So on that front face I've drawn just a really shallow chamfer on it, and again we'll just darken it up just now as we go. I know I'm not going to add anything else to that, so I'm confident just now in darkening it up. Okay, if you were to add more to it, then obviously you would want to keep it light until you've done that, just in case you remove any of the lines. So we've got our line marked in, we pick the points where it hits, and we run them back. Now I actually, when I drew that one, picked the point that already was there, so it does go back. We find the points on the back, and then it's just a case of joining the dots again. So, like I say, once you've started practicing this and once you start to see what's going on these drawings, you do manage to kind of progress quite quickly with them. Darken it all up. And that's us done. Again, I'll do one up above the horizon line just so that you can see what we're doing. So, same technique. Back to our vanishing points. Let me just double check. Yeah, I am on the camera, that's fine. So, built it up, again ignoring everything else, just focusing on the object that we're drawing at the minute. Sketch that first one, let's make this side the thickness of the ruler, and then we're going back to our vanishing points. Got that drawn in, and then again let's go for maybe this bottom corner here. So let's say that's my edge there. Again, I'm happy with this object, I'm not going to add any more to it, so I'm just going to darken this up just now whilst we're building it to make it a wee bit clearer for you guys. So we've built it up, hits there, so as we know we want to run back. We want to run back, and then that's the point, and that's the point, and then as we have worked out, it's just a case of joining the dots again, and that's us. Going over this, again, as I've said before, you don't have to use the ruler to darken it up. I'm just going to spin my page. Yeah, you can do this freehand if you'd rather. I just think why not stick with keeping it neat for now. And that's me got my little object there. So, fillets above and below the horizon line, chamfers above and below the horizon line and at different angles. Have a little go and see how you get on.